if I may interject also,
Yes, Mr. President.
I being the principal author of the anti-agricultural smuggling law of 2016. Medyo nakaka-frustrate kasi dati po laganap ang smuggling, naipasa po natin ang anti-agricultural smuggling law, naging ano naman, ang NFA naman, kaliwat kanan naman ang issuance ng import permit. No? So, nawala yung smuggling, nag-morph siya into yung trading, yung trade, yung hoarding at iba pa. That's why we amended it to anti-agricultural economic sabotage. Pero napakano talaga. Sometimes it's really frustrating that our government agencies are the ones, kumbaga, sila, innovative sila, no? Napapalusot. Kaya we commend Senator Tulfo for bringing this up, and hopefully we can really put the necessary safeguards to protect our farmers. No? Magaling, innovative talaga. Nung nalagay yung anti-agricultural smuggling law, import naman ang import. Kaya nag-evolve naman sila. So, we really have to put the necessary safeguards. Thank you.
Salamat po, Mr. President. And so, dagdag na lang, mula sa Isabela, speaking of the safeguard, so, dun sa intervention ng chair ng Committee on Agriculture, siguradong kailangan yung isang safeguard ay isang vigilant at saka decisive na leadership sa NFA at saka sa DA kung i-consider nga po yung ganitong amendment sa batas. Yung susunod ko pong tanong, kanina na itanong ko, pagkakatiwalaan ba dapat natin ang NFA na mag-angkat? Ngayon din, should we trust NFA to handle rice stocks? Well, again, what has been their track record? And I ask this because concerns about the NFA's efficiency and market impact under its pre-RTL mandate are well documented. Its operations were frequently criticized for inefficient storage and handling, leading to substantial wastage. For example, ito mula po sa House hearings, 2 pesos 47 centavos were reportedly wasted for every kilogram of rice imported by NFA. In 2011, about a third of imported rice went to waste due to these inefficiencies. So, given yung ganitong mga track record, dapat ba natin pagkatiwala ng NFA na alagaan yung rice stocks natin?
Yes, Mr. President, Your Honor, I really do agree with you na doon sa tanong nyo kung dapat ba pakitiwalaan. Even I myself, nagdududa nung una. Pero after na napag-isip-isipan ko, why not give it another chance? Pero dapat meron talagang monitoring at of course may mga safeguards to ensure na tama yung ginagawa ng trabaho at hindi sila mapapasukan ng sindikato at yung natatrabaho doon ay mga taong meron talagang pagmamahal at pagmamalasakit sa ating mga farmers. So dapat yung ilalagay natin dyan sa NFA, yung siguro dating farmer o may experience sa farming at may pagmamahal talaga at may puso para sa mga farmers. Hindi yung kung saan-saan lang pinulot sa kalye, nagtitinda dyan sa bangketa, ang sigarilyo at kaibigan tayo, gawin na kitang NFA administrator. I'm just kidding, Mr. President. Ganon kasi nangyari ko minsan. It's not what you know, it's whom you know. Kaya sana maiwasan natin ganong klaseng practice, especially dito sa NFA. Dapat mapangalagaan natin yung kapakanan natin mga farmers, and by doing so, dapat experience talaga. May experience, may integrity yung ilalagay natin dyan sa NFA. And of course, kasama na rin yan, palagi natin minomonitor at palagi natin may safeguards, and of course sa lahat ng mga desisyon, especially pag sa importation ng mga bigas, may consultation sa mga farmers kasi sila tatamaan dito in the end Mr. President.
Salamat, Mr. President, at Ginoo mula sa Isabela. Nabanggit po ng good gentleman yung isa sa mga paborito kong salita, yung sindikato. Sobrang tagal na isa ito siguro sa pinakamasahol na krimen, na ipagkait sa bibig ng mga kababayan ang pagkain, ipagkait pa sa bibig ng mismong nagtatanim at nag-aani ng pagkain ang pagkain. And I think kung isusulong ng Senado natin ang pag-amyenda ng batas na ito at ipatutupad talaga ng tapat ng DA at ng NFA given amendments and safeguards. Isa po itong matagal nang hinihinging pagwawasto. Mr. President, ginoo mula sa Isabela. Sunod ko pong tanong, can we expect NFA to handle the volume and timing of rice stock releases into the market so that farmers will not suffer? I ask this because NFA's price fixing through heavy imports often depress domestic farm gate prices for local farmers. Despite its dual mandate to stabilize prices for consumers and support farmers, yung pinag-uusapan po nating balanse, these goals frequently led to mutually conflicting results, penalizing both consumers through artificially high prices compared to world markets, and producers, penalizing producers also through depressed farm gate prices. So, maasahan po ba natin ang NFA na i-handle yung volume at saka yung tamang timing ng rice stock releases sa merkado para hindi naman po mapinsalaan yung mga magsasaka, Mr. President?
That is correct, Mr. President, Your Honor. Before giving back the powers to import rice sa NFA, dapat gagawin muna tayo ng mga thorough study and maraming stakeholders dapat involved at pag-aralan yan and then available yung mga data kung dapat ba talagang ibalik na natin sa NFA yung powers sa G2G importation ng rice. And like I said, always palaging involved yung mga farmers natin dahil sila naman talaga at the end of the day ang tatamaan dito.
Salamat, Mr. President. I'm also all for that thorough study dahil mayaman naman po yung track record for good or for ill ng NFA sa nakaraang mga taon pre and during itong RTL. At talagang magpagbabatayan po ng Senado, of course with inputs also from DA and NFA itself. At gaya ng sinasabi ng Ginoo mula sa Isabela, mula sa mga organisadong magsasaka. Sunog na tanong po, if retail prices did not go down, shouldn't the response be to get PCC recommendations, so yung Philippine Competition Commission, and identify bad actors in the industry instead of bringing in the NFA, which may turn out to be just another bad actor like it was in the past? And I ask this because the core of the current debate stems from the fact that despite the reduction of rice tariffs from 35% to 15% in July 2024 under Executive Order 62 and the decrease in world market prices, retail prices in, for example, Metro Manila have remained stubbornly high. The House Murang Pagkain Super Committee found that the benefits of reduced tariffs were scooped up by importers and intermediaries rather than being passed on. Those benefits passed on to consumers. So, kung hindi bumaba yung retail prices, hindi ba dapat ang tugon natin kunin na lang yung mga rekomendasyon ng PCC tapos tukuyin yung mga bad actors sa industriya sa halip na ipasok sa eksena yung NFA, Mr. President?
You're on point, Mr. President, Your Honor, yung pagsabi nyo, despite the fact na bumaba na yung tariff pero mahal pa rin yung presyo ng bigas, that has to be investigated. Why? What went wrong? Someone must have done something that is not right, and this is the reason kung bakit yung mga bigas ay mamahal pa rin. So, pagdating ng mga hearings natin sa agriculture, and we have to look into that. And kasama ako doon para magbusisi. And of course, magdala tayo ng mga eksperto sa farming para malaman natin kung ano yung problema at paano natin mapaganda pa yung production nating bigas at kahit na meron tayong importation ng bigas, paano natin mapanatili yung integridad ng ating NFA para tama yung mga ginagawa ng trabaho, allowing the importation of rice only to fill the gap. Hindi pwede yung nag-import tayo dahil wala tayong farm dito sa Pilipinas, wala tayong mga farmers. Marami tayong mga farmers dito, kulang nga lang sa support. So ang dapat, ang nasa isip natin, ilagay na sa ating isipan palagi na yung pag-import is only to fill the gap na dahil kulang tayo sa supply. Hindi dapat tayo mag-oversupply na to the extent na binaba na tayo ng mga imported rice na ikinamamatay na marami sa ating mga farmers ng kanilang kabuhayan.
Salamat, Mr. President. And again, good gentleman from Isabela, kaisa niyo po ako na kailangan talagang imbestigahan ito kung bakit sa kabila ng mga interventions na sinasabing will create certain outcomes, hindi naman yun ang nagiging bunga. And I look forward dun sa investigasyon kung saan malamang mahalaga yung magiging inputs ng PCC. Kailangan talagang i-identify yung bad actors, pangalanan na sila para mailagay sa tamang lugar na wala nang sacred cows.
Kung meron kang alam mga pangalan, Mr. President, this is the time.
Yes, Mr.
Pangalan
President,
natin.
good
Let's name
gentleman. Lalahok din ako ng aktibo sa investigasyon tungkol dito tungo sa
Maybe, Mr. President,
pag-aamyenda.
i-refer natin sa Blue Ribbon
Batas.
Committee para si Senator Marcoleta imbestigahan kung sino yung mga sindikato dyan sa rice importation,
Opo, at
etc.
nagluluk forward din ako sa input sa investigasyon ng NFA. Mr. President, I think the chair of the Senate Committee on Agriculture would like
just
to
a quick
interject.
intervention.
Senator Pangilinan is recognized.
Nabanggit kasi with the permission of Senator Tulfo.
Go ahead, Mr. President, Your Honor.
Nabanggit kasi ni Senator Risa yung pangalan. Naalala ko, wala na ako sa Senado in this last 3 years ago. Sinuspindi ng NFA yung 100 managers and employees dahil sa binenta yung stocks na hindi dapat. So, may pangalan yung NFA. Pero kanino binenta yung stocks? Ba't walang pangalan? In other words, lumabas sa dyaryo, 100 NFA ang sinuspindi. Pati ang NFA administrator natanggal eh.
Yeah.
Pero
I remember.
binenta niya eh. Binenta nila sa trader. Pero pag binasa mo yung media report, walang pangalan yung traders. Ba't hindi sila kasama doon sa pananagutan? At ganyan ang nangyayari. And then one more point maybe very quickly, Mr. President, nabanggit kanina ni Senator Senator JV, may batas. Pero mula noong 2016 hanggang ngayon, wala pang nakukulong. Wala pang nakukulong sa economic sabotage dahil wala pang nahuhuli ng smuggled goods na mas mataas sa 10 million. Pag tinignan natin lahat noong mga news reports, 9.7 million smuggled, 7.2 million smuggled, 4.7 million smuggled. Walang above 10 million. Kaya walang economic sabotage, walang non-bailable na kaso. Pwede ba yun since 2016?
So dapat siguro, Mr. President, Your Honor, babaan natin yung amount na para may consider na economic sabotage from 10 million, gawin natin 5 million siguro if necessary.
Well, ang mangyayari doon, gagawin namang report, 4 million lang ang smuggle.
Pabaho na mapa, Mr. President.
So, kumbaga, ang sa atin, it's enforcement.
I think, yeah, enforcement. And the problem also is with the Bureau of Customs, Mr. President, kasi marami dyan sa Bureau of Customs, believe it or not, hindi lang sila mga opisyalis ng Bureau of Customs, kundi sila mismo ay mga smuggler or kundi man ka-social ang mga smuggler. So how can you stop smuggling kung yung mga kawani sa Bureau of Customs, sila mismo ang mga smugglers or partner ng mga smugglers? Mr. President, Your Honor.
Salamat, Mr. President. Para din yan siguro ginoo mula sa Isabela na may tulay na bumagsak tapos truck driver lang ang mananagot. So dito rin, kalahati lang ng cast ang pinanagot.
Right.
Yun lamang nagbenta pero hindi rin yung nagbumili. Wala namang makukonsummate na maling gawain kung hindi lahat ng gumagawa ay gumawa at dapat ay pangalanan at singilin. Huling tanong na lamang po, Mr.
Yes,
President,
Mr. President.
mula sa Isabela, operationally, doesn't NFA need to invest hundreds of billions of pesos in drying? Kanina pinag-usapan nyo rin yung dryers, no? Drying, storage, and milling facilities in order for it to play a bigger role in stabilizing prices, assuming that it can be both capable and accountable to perform this mission. If the NFA is to play a larger, more active role in the rice market, significant investment in and modernization of its post-harvest facilities are imperative. Kasi po the current NFA warehouses are notoriously inadequate and preventing the agency from effectively procuring new local harvests. Pwede pang idahilan yun na para hindi mas marami pa ang bilihin sa ating mga magsasaka. To fulfill its existing and proposed mandates, the NFA requires massive investment. The current 15-day buffer stock requirement alone, 555,000 metric tons of milled rice, would necessitate 21.275 billion pesos for palay procurement and an additional 13.875 billion pesos for milling, storage, and distribution, far exceeding the NFA's current annual budget for procurement. So, looking forward din po tayo, Ginoo, mula sa Isabela sa budget debates. Long-term goals such as, say, kahit doblin lang natin, a 30-day buffer stock of 1.5 million metric tons or even a 90 to 100-day supply, bakit hindi, di ba, libreng mangarap, would require investments in the range of 150 billion pesos for infrastructure alone for a 30-day buffer po. So while the NFA is reportedly building new warehouses, these add only a modest 50,000 tons of capacity. And this highlights the complex logistical and financial challenges of scaling up NFA's physical infrastructure. So, yun na nga po, operational, hindi ba dapat ang NFA ay kailangan mamuhuna ng hundreds of billions dun sa drying, storage at milling facilities para makapagganap siya ng mas malaking papel sa pag-stabilize ng mga presyo, Mr. President.
Thank you, Mr. President, Your Honor. Yeah, I do agree with you, Senator Riza. Ma'am, if we want the NFA to succeed and become effective in their job, the new powers that are given to them, we must support them by way of giving them enough budget na para ma-fulfill nila yung mandato sa kanila at mapaayos po yung ginagawang trabaho para sa ating mga farmers.
Salamat po, Ginoo, mula sa Isabela. Maraming salamat sa inyong privileged speech. Binibigyan tayo ng mga konkretong dagdag na trabaho di lang sa legislation pero particularly sa budget making. Pero syempre, kung lulubagan natin na NFA in terms of yung mga tungkulin at kapangyarihan niya at pati tungkol sa budget, ibig sabihin proportionately lalaki din yung responsibilidad nila sa transparency and accountability.
Precisely, Mr. President,
So
Your Honor.
I'm with you there, good gentleman from Isabela, dun sa seryosong pag-aral nito at paglatag ng mga mahihigpit na safeguards. Maraming salamat po,
Thank you,
good
Mr.
gentleman from
What
Isabela.
is the
Salamat
pleasure
po,
of the
Mr.
Honorable
President.
Marcos?